Struck him out. Boom, stand, baby! Let's play.
The East Coast trip continues in Baltimore, Maryland. Welcome, everybody, to Oriole Park at Camden Yards as the Mariners get ready to take on the Baltimore Orioles. First of four. Dave Sims, Mike Flowers, Root Sports crew. Good news, Gene Segura is back in the lineup tonight, and that will add a lot to this ball club as we look at D. Gordon. He'll lead things off, and let's take a look, Mike, at the rest of the batting order.
Mariners starting lineup brought to you by Jack in the Box, and D. Gordon will lead things off. And Gene Segura missed the series in Boston. Great to have him back in the lineup. Nelson Cruz, Player of the Week, 9 home runs in his last 15 games. And hitting sixth, Ryan Healy. He's been a hot hitter over his last 13 games, hitting .333 with 5 home runs. Andrew Cashner, 14 starts for him this year, just 2 wins, 2-8 record, 4.72 ERA, 64 strikeouts, 34 walks, a lot of walks, over 76 in a third.
Orioles, the 5th team in 9 years for Cashner. D. Gordon, line drive right to Manny Machado, 1 down.
And the defense, former Mariner Adam Jones in center field. Manny Machado just on the shortstop. Used to seeing him at third, but he will be the shortstop. Caleb Joseph will do the catching for Baltimore.
So Cashner in his second, make that his first year with the Orioles. He was with the Rangers last year, went 11-11. He's got Gene Segura. First pitch, strike.
For Cashner and the Mariners to be aggressive on his fastball. His last 5 starts, opponents hitting .370 against his fastball. His average fastball, 93 miles an hour. Curve, slider, changeup to go with it.
Gene ready to go. He's got the, see the bandage covering on that right forearm. Having a fabulous year. He was really missed. Shoots one, right side. Scope is there. 2 down. But just from a comfort level to have this guy back in the lineup, the number 3 hitter in the American League, leads in multi-hit games. Just so good to have him back in there.
Well, we were just in Boston, and I mentioned that he did not play in that series. And Dennis Eckersley, the Hall of Famer, that's the first thing that he talked to us about, mentioned not seeing Segura in the lineup. That's how important he is.
Batting in a 3-hole, Mitch Haniger. First pitch, strike. Mitch 2 hits against Cashner, 1 home run.
A bit of a breeze right now, but during batting practice, the wind was blowing out, and Mitch Haniger, Nelson Cruz hitting in the same group. I was behind the cage, and they lost a lot of baseballs. They were hitting them up over the walkway out to left center field.
And you would agree, having played here, this is one of the greatest hitting ballparks we have, right?
Yeah, I would say that, and I think I have not come across a player, and I asked a couple of coaches today that have played here, also in Edgar and Scott Brocious.
Right.
I haven't found one person that has played, a position player, mind you,
right,
that doesn't love it here. It is a hitter's ballpark.
0-2 in the dirt. Mitch on the road trip, 5 for 25, 5 runs knocked in, a couple of doubles. Check swing, foul back.
Talking to Brian DeLunas today in the dugout. I didn't realize, I didn't think about it, but it was his first trip into Boston at Fenway Park and his first trip into Camden Yards. And he loved both the ballparks.
Mitch, line drive. Adam Jones will not get it. Base hit.
I told him, I said, is it tough when you're a pitching coach, and for him, he's the bullpen coach, getting these guys ready in these 2 ballparks because they're hitters' parks. And he just kind of chuckled a little bit. He goes, you still have to go make your pitches and go about your business, but he was happy to see the 2 ballparks. He works extremely hard with all the guys out in the bullpen.
He didn't have to have any therapy sessions or anything with these guys coming in?
No, he's just fine. Nelson Cruz has been hot over the last 8 games, .452 batting average.
He got booed. I think that's probably booed for Oriole management for not re-signing him. The Mariners are very thrilled about that. Orioles offered him a 3-year deal. Nelly wanted a 4. They said goodbye and ended up here in Seattle with us. Player of the week, OPS 1580, 12 for 24, 8 runs, 3 homers, 8 ribbies. That's some work. I asked him about this ballpark. He said that wry smile on his face, being back in these environs where he had a lot of success a few years ago with the Orioles in his 1 year. Yeah, I like it here. I like it in Boston too. I said, you can say that again.
Great series in Boston.
Scope will take his time, throws over a little high. Nelly busting it down the line. The legs are feeling good. Mariners are retired, leaving a runner. Nothing across. The Orioles coming to bat. He's looking for his 7th win this season. He's had success here in Baltimore in 7 previous starts, a 4-1 record, a 3.09 ERA. Let's take a look at the lineup he'll face tonight.
And for Baltimore, they have really struggled this year. They are last in the American League in batting average. Colby Rasmus, he will lead things off. And this Manny Machado, want to be careful with him. A 3.01 batting average, 19 home runs on the year. And the hot hitter in the lineup is Mark Trumbo in the last 6 games, 316 with 4 home runs. For Felix, 5.14 ERA, 76 strikeouts over 32 walks and 89 in a third. Opponents hitting just 261 against him.
He'll be careful against Rasmus. A career 7 for 12, 4 walks against Felix. Well-traveled Toronto, St. Louis, Houston. Good start for Felix. The Orioles got off to a miserable start, and it's been all downhill from there. 7-19 in April, 9-19 in May, 6-14 here in June. This 13th game for Rasmus. Breaking ball, popped up. Seager on the dirt, 1 out.
Look at the rest of the defense for the Mariners. Denard Span will get the start in left field. Ben Gamble getting the evening off. Gene Segura, good to have him back at shortstop. Andrew Romine really played well in Boston. It's always great to have Segura in the lineup. Chris Herman will do the catching.
There's Adam Jones, time Mariner. Great player, deep in the fabric here in the city of Baltimore. And when you look at this ball club, a lot of free agents, big part of the story for them. Brock and Britton, a couple of pitchers. You got Adam Jones, Manny Machado, the GM. Buck Showalter, his last year. What's going to happen? All kinds of speculation, questions about where this franchise is going. Jones swings through. 9 for 29 against Felix. This is a franchise, the Orioles, 5-year stretch from 2012 through 16. They won more games than any other team in the American League East, and were in good shape. So around Labor Day last year, they were 7 games out, 3rd place, and then finished 18 out, losing 19 of their last 23. And then that bad trend has continued right into this season. There's not been a lot of laughs for Buck Showalter. 3-time manager of the year.
I mentioned that they are last in hitting, 14th in ERA.
D. Gordon coming to get it. Throws out Jones.
So it really has been across the board for them with their struggles.
The other thing, too, the Mariners want to keep this trend going. The Orioles are 0 for 9 in previous games against Western Division teams. The timing, scheduling this time, it worked out well for Scott Sarvis and the crew. Says they still have a lot of guys that can hit the ball out of the ballpark. But this is a time to get some things straight for the Mariners. Here's Manny Machado.
It's good to see. Good month of June for Felix. A 3.13 ERA for him.
Felix doing a good job knocking down that 1st inning ERA. About 5 starts ago, he was almost a 13 ERA in the 1st inning. He's really picked it up.
Something we talked about. You make adjustments and some changes to your routines, and he's found something that has worked for him. One of the reasons why over his last 4 starts he's really pitched well. One of the main things is just staying away from the walks.
Here, here.
That was a good curveball from him.
Home plate umpire is Stu Sherwater. Eric Cooper, the umpire, at 1st. Gary Cedarstrom at 2nd. Corey Blazer at 3rd. 2-1 to Machado. Base hit. Span will cut it off. 2-out base runner for Baltimore. With 2 outs, man at 1st, and that'll bring up another former Mariner, Mark Trumbo.
Romero Supermo fastball right on the outside corner, 90 miles an hour. But Machado will line it right back up the middle.
Hot hitter in Trumbo. Homers in 5 of his last 7. Also went back-to-back a couple of times. Hit a grand slam down in Atlanta.
Felix will want to be careful with him in his career, hitting .258 with 3 home runs against Felix, and that makes some sense. He's a good low ball hitter. Felix typically at the bottom of the strike zone.
Braves coming at the Orioles coming in after winning 2 of 3 at the Braves down in Atlanta. There's the strike. Coming into today's ball game, Felix's 1st inning ERA down to a 9.56. There's what Trumbo has done lately. Full badly there. 1-2.
It was interesting against the Yankees. Felix mixing it up in the 1st inning, really the first time through the lineup, and then he really went to his changeup and curveball after that. By the end of the game, he'd only thrown his fastball 21% of the time, his changeup at 44%, and his curveball at 28%. There's a good curveball.
That it was. Trumbo can't get it. No runs, a hit, no errors, and 1 man left. Felix and the Mariners tied at 0-0. Sports is brought to you by your local Ford stores, by the Emerald Queen Casino, presenting George Thorogood and the Destroyers Rock Party Tour July 8th. Tickets at emeraldqueen.com. And by Safeco Insurance. Find a local agent at safeco.com. Do more. We welcome you back to Oriole Park, Camden Yards, opened back in 1992. And it set the stage for fans like this wanting to come to Baltimore to see some baseball. A wonderful ballpark, inspiring many others, including Safeco Field. There's Kyle Seager. 7 for 21, couple of home runs against Cashner. He'll be followed by Ryan Healy and Denard Span. Soon popped up. Yesterday, piece of my heart went out to Kyle Seager as a left-hand hitter against Chris Sale, who was absolutely dominant and just overpowered.
Well, 98 to 100 with one of the best sliders in the game, and with that arm angle, we talked about it yesterday, and I even talked about that with Edgar today, and he agreed with what my assessment was, and that is as good as Chris Sale as we've ever seen him.
No doubt.
Especially when you consider his velocity. He was consistently 98 to 99. His last pitch was 100. Going into the game, opponents on his slider were hitting just 118.
There's Seager charging one up center field. It's going to stay in the yard, though. Adam Jones under.
So if you're a left-hander in that lineup, that was going to be a difficult day.
No question. That makes back-to-back. My memory deceived me yesterday. It was 2 starts prior when he was with the White Sox. His last year with the White Sox when he went 8, jammed it on the Mariners, and then they got Robertson to get the win. The last time we'd seen him, I think, with Boston last year, he dominated the Mariners, but not like he did yesterday.
Yeah.
Here's Ryan Healy. Seen a lot of pitchers work inside like that on Healy on this road trip.
Well, I asked Ryan, I said, did you see any changeups? And he said his first 2 at-bats that Sale yesterday started him with the changeup. I said, really? He's throwing 100 and he was using the changeup. And he said, yeah.
Snared down there by Chris Davis, 2 down. Hit it hard. Crash was able to make the play. Cash now wants a new ball. Cashner started his career with the Cubbies. 20th round pick back in 05. Actually with Atlanta, then Colorado, then ended up with the Cubs in 07. Here's Denard Span in left field. Shows bunt, takes a strike. Span got the first hit off of Sale yesterday. A 1-out single up the middle on a 1-2 pitch. Adams came away with 4 hits against Chris Sale. 7 innings, 4-hit shutout, ball, a walk. Whole bunch of strikeouts. Infield straight up for Span, so is the outfield, not too deep. 1-2. Last year the Mariners were swept here in Baltimore. August 28, 29, 30, 7-6, 4-0, and 8-7. Dating back the last 5 years of 6-9 here in this ballpark. Solidly stroked. Base hit for Denard Span, coming with 2 outs here in the second. Future is back this Saturday when the Mariners turn ahead the clock against the Royals on the 20th anniversary of the original event. Now the first 20,000 fans are going to get a futuristic Mariners cap courtesy of Alaska Airlines. So blast yourself over to mariners.com to get some tickets. See these Mariner Road Warriors on this 3-city tour. New York, Boston, and Baltimore. Come home for Kansas City. The Angels and the Rockies. Here's Chris Herman. Scott Service talking about wanting to get him in some games. Give Zunino a break. Zunino also a little thumb injury.
Yeah, some people may have noticed yesterday with Mike that he had his wrist and his hand heavily taped. And so I asked Mike about that today. And he said that it was in Friday night. I believe it was Nick Rumbelow who had bounced a pitch well out in front of home plate. He went to block it, and it hit him on his thumb that you're talking about, Dave. And he said it swelled up pretty good, and he didn't play Saturday. He said he probably wouldn't have been able to. I felt okay yesterday. We saw him out early. He was playing catch with Rick Nodine, the trainer, to see how it would feel. He said once he had it taped up, it was still swollen. I asked him, does it affect you swinging the bat? He said, no, actually more throwing. But he said most of the swelling is out of there now. He feels a lot better, so we'll probably see him back in the lineup tomorrow.
Herman had a terrific game Saturday, as he's aboard now on 4 pitches, going 2 for 3 and working with Mike Leake in that 7-2 Mariner win. A couple of men aboard with the walk and base hit. Here's Heredia. Guillermo 0 for 2 with a walk yesterday. Way outside, ball 1. Guillermo, too, big part of the Saturday night win. 2 hits, 2 for 5, broke it 0 for 21. Cashner can't find his zone right now, 2-0.
Talked about that at the start of the game. He can get wild at times. A lot of walks this year. He's given up 13 home runs, getting into hitters' counts.
Coming in 64 strikeouts, 34 walks. "31 years old, Conroe, Texas, 6'6", 235. Most wins he's had in a season. Last year with Texas, 11-11. Prior to that, 10-9 with the Padres in 2013. Two-out threat here mounting for the Mariners, built by the bottom of the order. 2-1. Bottom of the order Saturday night, 5 for 13, 3 runs scored. Guillermo can make something happen. Good count for him. 3-1. Couple of men aboard.
2-0 was a fastball at 94, middle away. Probably see it again.
Span good speed at second. Ditto Herman at first. And he takes for ball 4. Gets it back to the top of the order. And D. Gordon. Boy, what an inning, huh?
Some patient at bats. D lined out his first time up.
Done a lot of first pitch swinging the last week or so. Cashner 18 on his first 22 pitches for strikes. 8 of his last 9 have been balls. So let's see if the Mariners can cash in here. Still can't find it. D2 for 12 against Cashner. Base runners abound here with the bases loaded and 2 down. Ball 2. The restless Oriole crowd here right now with Cashner. Roger McDowell. A lot of success with the '86 Mets, the pitching coach. Not real thrilled with what he's saying. Here's a 2-0 pitch. Ball 3. Wow.
Well, it's a good patient at bat from D, paying attention. Typically he wants to be aggressive, taking pitches after the couple of walks, and 3-0.
Inning started with a fly out and a line out. There's a strike. 3-1.
Taking all the way.
The obligatory derisive cheer from the patrons here in Baltimore.
Action pitch right here. 3-1. Bases loaded. 2 outs. And he takes.
He's taking all the way. 3-1.
Oh, it all comes down to this. 3-2. Bases loaded. 2 outs. The merry-go-round will be working here. Cashner ready. 3-2 pitch. Up the middle. Base hit. Span scores. Herman scores. Heredia gets the stop sign at third. D. Gordon clutching up with 2 outs and full count. Couple of runs knocked in. 2-0 Seattle.
What a great team at bat that was. Paying attention to the situation. Typically he wants to be aggressive almost all of the time. Decided to be patient, wait him out, gets a fastball in the middle of the plate. Even 3-1, he was taking that pitch all the way, not trying to do too much with the fastball. Just hits it right back up the middle. Mariners pick up a couple of runs. Primera Supermo and the fastball two-seamer running right out in the middle of the plate. He hits it hard. So the team at bat is paid off with a base hit and 2 RBIs. And this is exactly what you want to do against a team that has been struggling. Get out in front early.
They're on the schedule. You're paid to beat them. They're having a bad year. Take advantage of it. Here's Segura. Rounded out to second. He's got runners at the corners. 2 outs. D back with the dive. Runner goes. Throw down to second. It's high. It's late. Another stolen base for D. Gordon. His 20th. American League leader.
And this was an easy steal. Great jump. High throw.
Base hit will get 2 more. 2-0. Segura, mentioned the number 3 hitter in the American League. Second in hits though, Altuve. Next hit for Gene will be number 100. Altuve leading the league with 108. Two-0 pitch. Make it 3-0. Real pitch. And he's aboard. The bases are loaded again. 3 walks this inning. Take a look at D. Gordon as he gets his 20th stolen base. Comes right out of the helmet and then it comes right back on him. Blocks his vision, but everything worked out well. Mitch Haniger with a single to center. Really can do some damage right here. Bases loaded. And he popped it up. Shortstop Machado going back. Good inning nonetheless for the Mariners. D. Gordon drives in 2 and the Mariners are on top here in Baltimore. future as he takes the mound for Turn Ahead the Clock Night this Saturday at Safeco Field. Join us for a special edition Kings Court that includes a ticket and futuristic Kings Court tee. Tickets are only $30 at Mariners.com/Felix. D. Gordon and the Mariners have given Felix a 2-0 lead. He's got Chris Davis, Trey Mancini, and Jonathan Scope. One of the reasons why the Orioles are a 23-53 team. Chris Davis having a miserable season. 151, 5 homers, and 20 runs batted in. Struck out 90 times.
Almost half the time a strikeout for him.
Felix steals strike 2.
He'd been benched for a while.
He had about 8-9 days off. Hey, well, we'll see in about 8-9 days.
Yeah.
Take a blow. Strike 3 called. Back-to-back Ks for Felix. He's got 2 this year.
Obviously just not picking the baseball up at all. That's a high changeup in the middle of the plate. No question it's a strike.
Brings up Mancini, the left fielder. Clearly, with the great off-speed pitches Felix has these days. The broken bat ground ball. D surrounds it, and Healy digs it out. 2 down. Point I was going to making that 90 look more than what it is.
Yes. Perceived velocity, Dave, and really when you start to throw the curveball the way that he has, we mentioned his changeup over 40% of the time in his last outing, and his fastball on average, when you look at the numbers, is somewhere between 88 and 89, but lately he's been in that 90-91 range. And so yeah, I think that there's a lot to that, especially with the way that he's mixed it up, using his fastball, at times pitching inside just enough, elevating it from time to time. These are all things that he has been working on.
Here's Jonathan Scope, another guy whose game has fallen way off. 204, 7 homers, 19 runs batted in.
And to your point, in his last outing against the Yankees, just threw the fastball at 21%. That is as far down as anybody.
It's popped up, it's playable. Felix, here comes Seager, and he makes the play.
Good inning.
Nice, crisp inning by Felix and the Mariners. Orioles go 1-2-3, 2-0 Seattle. Mariners lead the Orioles. Game 1 of a 4-game set. Hey, going to the game, well, it's quick, and easy, a quick and easy trip on the Sounder train, Link Light Rail and ST Express buses. Plan your trip at soundtransit.org. Nelson Cruz, American League Player of the Week in tight. Nelly with Baltimore as an All-Star 2014 season. With 40 home runs, drove in 108, hitting .207.
Saw him early this afternoon. Some TV interviews down on the field. A bunch of the players from Baltimore coming out to see him.
Talking to Mike Bordick, he said that one of the many reasons they were disappointed that he wasn't re-signed is positive influence on the young players, Scope and Machado and kids like that. Look at the week that was. Super impressive. Love the triple.
The triple was great, yeah.
He said halfway, he knew he was in trouble. Looked up, he saw the stop sign was broke. Put it up there, some strikes out there. And he said, oh, heck, I just got to go now.
Too late. Yeah. Looks like it's going to be a slider off the outside corner. Gets him to chase it. Good Kyle Seager. Kyle hit the ball to deep center field his first time up.
Cal at 224 coming into today's game. Good place for him to get a surge going.
He's been pretty good on the road this year. Talked about the game yesterday with Chris Sale on the mound. That was tough for everybody. And up to that point, he's really starting to swing the bat well. And so hopefully that'll continue here in Baltimore. Hasn't really had a real hot streak yet this year.
Exactly. We've seen him go on some really good tears.
And that being said, he has 13 home runs, 44 RBIs.
Fouled off the glove of the catcher. It's Caleb Joseph.
He's a pretty good pitch.
Kyle's hitting better away from home at 241. 10 home runs. 33 runs batted in. Oh, 2 strikes. The fact that he's sub 230 has not affected his defensive capabilities at third. Gold glove quality down there. 3-2. He even said a couple of weeks ago when we were talking to him, thinks he's having a better year defensively this year than the year he won the Gold Glove. That's saying something.
Another 3-ball count for Cashner.
All right, Healy on deck. That's something in his eye. Jonathan Scope, second baseman, and shift way out in right field. A little bit deeper than we saw the Red Sox and the Yankees play against Kyle. 3-2. And another walk by Cashner, his 4th.
Walked him on a changeup. Didn't want to challenge him.
Cashner down 2-0. Has walked another man. He's got a career mark in 9 years, 44 and 72 as we look at Ryan Healy. Hard hitting liner. Chris Davis at first. Strike one. Kansas City beat the Angels 2-0 final. Oakland wins at Detroit 5-4. Houston and Toronto down in Houston about 15, well, within a half hour.
Ryan Healy hit the ball hard to the right side his first time up. A couple of fastballs in on him this time.
Bounces this one, foul.
James Paxton, Kevin Gosman tomorrow. Wade LeBlanc, Alex Cobb on Wednesday. Mike Leake, Dylan Bundy on Thursday. 12:05 start Pacific time. Well, Healy's gone. 2 out, second strikeout for Cashner. So 2 down.
And that's going to bring up Denard Span. Singleton scored his first time up. The 2018 Camping World MLB All-Star Ballot. It's now open and exclusively online. So make sure your favorite Mariners, including Mitch Haniger, Gene Segura, that they're represented in this year's squad by voting at mariners.com/vote. Catch all the excitement of the 89th MLB All-Star Game presented by MasterCard on July 17th. Span fouls it off.
Span a line drive, base hit into right field, his first time up. Mariners scored both their runs last inning with 2 outs. Both quick outs and base hit by Span. And Cashner lost the strike zone.
1-1 to count the Span. 101st pitch in there for strike. How'd you hit here?
Not sure what the numbers were, but loved it.
He said that fast enough.
Well, I was by the cage today, and I had Edgar on one side and Scott Brocious on the other, and we were all talking about it. And it's a great ballpark all the way around, and you just feel that you're going to get hits. The Span will go down.
Catcher holds on. 3 strikeouts for Cashner. Runner stranded. We go to the home third. A 2-0 Mariner lead. The perks of this gig. We land at the hotel here in Baltimore and then find out there's a concert going on. 70s favorites Peter Frampton. You can hear Peter Frampton singing Show Me the Way. And that's not Show Me the Way. That's that Baby I Want. There it is, Baby I Love You. And Steve Miller. Steve Miller band. Not bad. A bunch of the crew went over. They heard about it. Took it in. That one guy with the hammock, that was great. That's coming prepared. That's extraordinary.
Ready. That's ready for it right there.
Man, oh man.
It's a beautiful evening here.
Tim Beckham, Caleb Joseph, Colby Rasmus, 8-9-1 against Felix Hernandez. 2 strikeouts thus far. I looked it up, Mike. 29 games you had here at Camden Yards. 235, 3 homers, 15 runs batted in. Here's Segura. First time he's tested. 1 away. Here in the third, Seattle Mariners baseball on Root Sports, being brought to you by Safeco Insurance. Find a local agent at safeco.com. Do more by Steel. Find your local Steel dealer. Visit steeldealers.com. And by Amtrak Cascades. What a beautiful way to travel. Visit AmtrakCascades.com. Dave Sims, Mike Flowers, Root Sports crew.
Chris Herman ended up throwing a ball over Felix's head, and there was nothing happening. So D was looking down at the ground and saw the ball last minute and still dove for it.
Flip the ball to Gary Severson for good keeping. Caleb Joseph hitting 177, a homer and 4 runs. Batted in. Just his 30th game. Seager goes at the Orioles catcher, 2 down. Back to the top of the order, and Colby Rasmus popped out to Seager. Open up the home first. That 56 ground ball rate versus curveball in June, 4th best among big league pitchers for Felix.
That's always a good sign when Felix is keeping the ball on the ground. Typically he's going to be down in the zone. Missing with that curveball.
Rasmus looks like he's got an old-fashioned military dog tags on. Here's the ball hit right into the shift. D. Gordon's there, and Felix, what a nice inning right there. Another 1, 2, 3. He's retired the last 7 that he's faced. For all military and vets by sharing a photo or video using hashtag #HatsOffForHeroes. For each tweet or post, T-Mobile's going to donate $1 to support veterans. 2-0 Mariners. Chris Herman leading off in the 4th. Chris walked on 4 pitches and later scored, along with Span on the D. Gordon 2-run single, 2 outs in the 2nd. Herman playing in his 4th game since joining the Mariners. Recently off the DL, oblique issue. 1-1. Herman to be followed by Heredia and Gordon. A shift on Herman. And he goes the other way. Back it up Mancini towards the track. Reaches up, makes the catch. Mancini playing shallow. Knew where he was.
Gave it a pretty good ride. They'll go in the other way, all the way to the warning track.
Sure did. Right now, the wind not a factor. The flags out in left center field, the American flag and the state of Maryland flags. I mean, pretty much straight down. There's Guillermo Heredia. He too walked in his first at bat. Off the end of the bat, Kashner's got it. A quick 2 outs. Here are the Mariners, top of the 4th. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Seattle Mariners and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Seattle Mariners. 2 outs, top of the order. D. Gordon, a fantastic, patient at bat with the bases loaded. Back in the 2nd inning. Shows Black.
He's hit the ball hard a couple times. Lined out to the shortstop, and then the base hit back up the middle to drive in 2.
One to D. Make that 2-0. Big play. 2-0. Slap to the foul. Pretty typical this early stage in the ballgame. He's got a nice dirty uniform.
That is typical.
Goes right to Scope. So 1-2-3, top of the 4th. Felix and the Mariners lead it 2-0. Baltimore time now for Lowe's whole team together. Mariners starting pitching the innings thrown since May 8th up to the 2nd here. Leak, Paxton, Gonzalez, LeBlanc, and Felix at 48 to a total of 280 and a third since May 8th. Marco Gonzalez did a nice job matching Chris Sale for 4 innings yesterday. 3 spot in the 5th. There's Adam Jones, Machado, and Trumbo. Big bender way outside, ball 1.
Sweeping curveball, 82 miles an hour. Felix has had a good curveball tonight. Fastball location has also been good. We've seen him 90-91 with his fastball.
2-0. See Felix, no walks to this point. Couple of strikeouts. You get Trumbo and Davis. Segura, quick set, quick release, got him.
Segura, understanding that Jones can still run, gets rid of it quickly. He's not by a couple of steps.
Interesting watching Gene, knowing who's the runner. Quick setup, got rid of it with some haste and pace to it. Mike Bordick, conversation with him talking about Manny Machado, who stands in right now. Manny insisted on moving from third to short. He said his game clock as a shortstop took a while to adjust, and a couple of routine plays turned into base hits. Because at third, you know, from playing third, got a couple, you know, you can think about it. Yeah,
ball gets to you quickly. You're obviously closer most of the time.
Right. And he said that was a difficult adjustment for Manny to make early on. He's gotten better at it.
And on the routine ground ball, a lot of the times at third, you don't have to worry about charging it. At shortstop, you better come get it. And that is the biggest difference. And I think for him, especially, he has such a great arm, one of the best throwing arms in the major leagues. He probably was relying on that a lot early on.
So Mike said, Mike Bordick was a good shortstop.
Very good. And he did not have a good arm, and he got rid of everything quickly and charged the ball as well as anyone.
Mike had some great years here in Baltimore. He was on the Mets 2000 National League Championship team. Broadcasting on TV side for Baltimore. Jim Palmer, the Hall of Famer, off tonight. 2-1 to Machado. 19 homers, 55 runs batted in. A base hit to left center. 2-2.
Another good breaking ball.
Two to Manny. 3-2.
This with a changeup.
Felix was retired the last 8. Didn't get that one.
He wanted it though. Pretty close.
One out base runner here in the 4th. Time now for a Geico This Date in MLB history. Take you back to 05 in a game against the Orioles. Of then 42-year-old Jamie Moyer and 42-year-old catcher Pat Borders. They combined for the first starting battery in Major League history where each player is 42 years or older. Yay for that demographic. Mark Trumbo struck out on a 1-2 pitch. Ball 1. Base hit for Trumbo. Machado will hold at second. Couple of base runners, one out. First time the Orioles have had 2 men aboard.
Primera Supermo. Just a 2-seam fastball. Trumbo has been a hot hitter for Baltimore. So he's trying to get the ground ball. Was able to get it, but unfortunately it finds a hole. Now after the walk and the base hit, in a little bit of trouble.
Chris Davis called out on strikes. Boy, you can see he is dead pull happy. Who did we just see was doing the same thing? Oh, Sanchez.
Sanchez.
With the Yankees.
Catcher pulled his groin. Looks like he's going to the disabled list now.
Saw that.
Hurt himself yesterday. And that's probably the reason why Felix started him with the changeup.
Did not go, says Corey Blazer. Davis now 8 for 34 against Felix with 1 long ball.
Famous with a couple of curveballs.
Have to be careful here. Davis has had some monster home run years. 53 in 2013, 26, 47, 38, and 26 since then. But super careful. 3-1. That service, like any Mariner fan right now, rooting for a double play ball. 3-1. Way out front.
Typical of Felix not giving in. Another changeup. Changeup off the outside corner, gets him to chase it.
Three and two, one out. Couple of men aboard. Pitch. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Second time he's got Davis. Third K and a big one. 2 outs here in the fourth.
Well, it's obvious he wanted to get him out with the curveball. Everything down in the zone. Primera Supremo, 80 miles an hour, 12-6 curveball. Bottom falls out of it. Swing right over the top of it to get the strikeout.
Try to get Mancini to end this threat. Grounded out to D. Gordon, his first at bat.
A couple of keys for Felix lately, and the reasons why he's been pitching so well is staying away from the walks. Just 1 walk in each of his last 4 outings, 1 today. But opponents hitting with runners in scoring position, 192, a big strikeout right there, and quickly ahead of Mancini. So when he's been in some trouble, he's been able to work his way out of it for the most part and staying away from the walks, and we're seeing that tonight.
Very effective. Mancini fouls one back. Got 0-2.
You mentioned that he had really relied on his changeup heavily, almost 45% against the Yankees. Tonight it seems that he's going with his curveball more. He is throwing the changeup, but really using his curveball.
Walking a base hit built this Oriole threat, but Felix ahead 0-2, 2 out pitch. Ground ball foul over the head of Bobby Dickerson, third base coach. There's Bobby. Wayne Kirby does coaching at first base. Wayne had some good years at the Reds. Oh, 0-2 to Trey Mancini. Pitch from Felix in the dirt. Herman.
Good play.
Fine stop, indeed. Chris of Arizona. Been a good pickup for the Mariners. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Felix pumped, and he should be. Good work to get out of trouble. He's got 4 Ks, 2 big ones here in the 4th inning. A 2-0 lead. Segura, Henniger, and Cruz coming up.
Welcome back, everybody. Camden Yards, as the Mariners open up a 4-game set here with the Orioles. Gene Segura 0 for 1 with a walk tonight. Back in action for the first time since playing last Wednesday, going 1 for 4 at Yankee Stadium.
It's just great to have him back in the lineup.
There's a game with Felix pitched. Felix left with a 5-0 lead. The Yankees rallied to win at 7-5. Segura, Henniger, and Cruz against Cashner. Going back, shortstop Machado. Wow. Last second he bailed. And we welcome you in the Hughes Marino broadcast booth. Good to be here. Third stop of this East Coast swing. And Mariners looking good here with D. Gordon coming up big with 2 strikes. And Christmas in, there we go. Thank you very much. Christmas in June.
Some cookies, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I have to have that, of course.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
With Buck Showalter.
Buck Showalter, Snow Globe.
Good looking cookies, too.
Yes.
Rest
Good job.
this season. I don't mind
Yeah,
that. That's
yeah, why
pretty
not?
cool. They will be devoured, too. It's pretty good. This is pretty good. Buck Showalter.
He was a third base coach in New York when I was playing there. Buck and I way, way back. Snow Globe.
I thought it was a tribute to Citizen Kane, too. One on one to Mitch Haniger. Mitch with a base hit center field to pop out to short. Bouncing ball goes foul. Scott Brocious, nice play. World Series MVP in '98. All right.
That's great.
All the way here, Baltimore come up with a souvenir. Not bad. 2-2. This one fair. Beckham gets a nice hop. Bush hustling. Just getting. Cashner had a big hiccup in the second and third innings, but he's calmed down a little bit here. Hey, when you're at this Friday's game against the Royals, make sure to stop by the Mariners mystery bag sale. Each bag contains an autographed baseball by a member of the 2018 Seattle Mariners. Mystery bags are $60, and all proceeds will benefit Mariners Care. Nelson Cruz 0 for 2, ground out to short and strikeout. American League Player of the Week. Since June 17th. Some hot bats right there.
Almost hit him.
He's been hit enough, I'll tell you that, 10 times this season. Team leader by a wide margin. 2-0. Easy play, Adam Jones. 1-2-3 as Cashner settled down. Mariners have the advantage. D. Gordon, second inning, 2-run single, 2-0 Seattle. game, and it's easy to point to. 1 out, 2 on. Felix comes up with a couple of big Ks here, Mike.
And his curveball has been a big-time pitch for him. Chris Davis swinging at the curveball in a full count. Then he comes back with the great changeup to get another strikeout. So the theme continues. We showed you the numbers. 192 batting average against Felix with runners in scoring position the last 4 games, and that has continued so far tonight. He's also been able to stay away from the walks. Just 1 walk for Felix in the ball game.
Bottom third of the order, Jonathan Schoop, Tim Beckham, and Caleb Joseph. Schoop popped out to third his first time. We're talking about him, his first at bat the last 2 years. Schoop combined 57 home runs and 187 RBIs. Made the All-Star team last year. Well off of that pace this year.
Although he drives this one deep to left. Going back span, watching it get out. 2-1 ball game. His 8th homer, 20th run batted in. Felix giving up his 13th home run of the season.
It's one of the few times that we've seen somebody square up his changeup. He was able to get it to the bottom of the strike zone. Set up away. It's going to be middle in.
This one hit right to Gene Segura. Beckham. Easy out. 1 down. Second time he's grounded out to Gene.
Primera Supremo.
Jonathan Schoop put a good swing on that. Make this a 2-1 ball game. There's Joseph. He grounded out to Kyle Seager.
See on that changeup too, it wasn't moving down, it was moving more across the plate, staying on the same plane. Makes it a lot easier to square it up.
Ball and 2 strikes. Schoop, one of the bigger second basemen that we have in baseball. Big kid. 6'3". That's outside. 2-2. Joseph, a much better hitter at home. So he drives this one straight away center field. Heredia on the case. 2 down.
Here's Andy Mentic. Andy, what do you have? All right, Angie, thank you very much. Top of the order, Kobe Rasmus, 0 for 2. Pop up and a ground out.
And another curveball for a strike early in the count. Started off the plate away. Catches the outside corner. 79 on the curveball.
Earlier in the ballgame, Felix retired 8 consecutive hitters. He did a great job getting out of a 4th inning jam. He's given up a home run here. And now 2 outs. And a 1-1 count here to Rasmus. Shift is on for Rasmus. So he takes down low. 3-1. Seager going to reset now. More of a shortstop position. 3-1 here to Rasmus. Back with a strike.
Great pitch. Get back to the count. On the outside corner. A good two-seam fastball tonight.
Payoff pitch here. And lost him. Second walk issued by Phillips. Game 2 of this series. Be on the air tomorrow with the Big Maple. James Paxton taking on Kevin Gausman. Gausman at 3-6. Paxton, look at that, 219 batting average against. Our CenturyLink What's Next. Pax with 6 wins against 2 losses. Paxton 1-0 against the Orioles. In just 2 starts. Adam Jones, perennial all-star. 2 groundouts tonight. Right center field. There goes Mitch Haniger, makes the catch. A home run by Scope makes it a 1-run ball game here at Camden Yards as we go to the 6th. Baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Try the $4.99 Jack's Spicy Chicken Club combo with toasted sourdough, new from Jack in the Box. By Money Tree, proud to make a donation to Mariners Care for every Mariners win. By CenturyLink, connecting you to the power of the digital world. And by BNSF, sponsor of the BNSF Blast. Dave Sims, Mike Flowers, Root Sports crew, Inner Harbor here in Baltimore. Kyle Seager leading off against Andrew Kashner here in the 6th. Kyle today has fly to center and walked.
Time for the Mariners to get something going again.
Yep.
Need to start adding on. Baltimore has struggled this year. Don't let them hang around in a game. Try to put them away if you can.
Mariners have gone scoreless and hitless the last 3 innings. Kashner's figured some stuff out. He had a rocky second inning, loaded him up. D. Gordon, much to the chagrin of Buck Showalter, delivered a 2-out, 2-strike, 2-run single for this Mariners score to this point. Some foul back.
And that was a good fastball for Kyle to hit. He was trying to push him back off the plate, but left it right in the middle.
Johnson Scope led off the 5th. His 8th home run for Baltimore.
A lot off of that breaking ball, just 80 miles an hour.
You can see his arm speed
Slow down. Yeah.
Marco Gonzalez does a great job keeping the same arm speed, right?
Yep. Felix, one of the best at it. And yes, as a hitter, you can see that. I'm sure that Kyle's able to pick that up before the ball ever left his hand.
Two and two.
Cashner's had a good fastball tonight. He's 94, 95 miles an hour. Location at times has not been the best.
Especially when he had that bunch of walks. He had 3 walks in the second, 1 in the fourth. 2-2 to Kyle.
Just gets a piece of it.
Oh, he couldn't swing any later. Wow.
That's an emergency hack. A borderline fastball. And
why take a chance?
Yep. That'll be in the stands. This will be the 9th pitch coming up.
Cal, 3 home runs in this ballpark.
Cashner, 87 pitches, 50 strikes.
2-2. Full count. On deck hitter Ryan Healy. 3-2 pitch. Sharply hit, but right into the scope out in short right field. There's a strike to Davis. One down here in the Mariners top of the 6th. Ryan Healy coming up, followed by Denard Span. The Eagle, you know, it's landed. It's landed on James Paxton. Head to Safeco Field on Sunday when the Mariners face the Royals at 1:10. First 20,000 fans, you're going to get a James Paxton bobblehead complete with the perched Eagle. It's all brought to you by courtesy of Root Sports. So fly to Mariners.com for tickets.
Ryan Healy 0 for 2, looking for his first hit.
Davis taking a look, nothing doing there. Really 6 hits on the road trip. Had some good work. Turned in a homer, 3 runs batted in.
Over the last 13 games, hitting .333 with 5 home runs.
Oh, 2. 5-game hitting streak for Ryan. Oh, 2. Worked inside. Ground ball to Beckham. Two outs. Denard Span 1 for 2, single to right, run scored second inning, and a strikeout in the 3rd. Toronto 2-0 at Houston. That's in the 1st inning. Mentioned earlier in the American League West, Oakland wins at Detroit 5-4. Angels lose at Kansas City 2-0. Next on the docket, Mariners open up a homestand on Friday. It will be against Kansas City. Pitch to Span. 1-1. impressed by Span in yesterday's game getting the first hit against Chris Sale. He was behind in the count. Kept it simple. Threw his hands out there and got a base hit up the middle. It's 2-1 here.
Another patient at bat by with the Mariners, hitting .294 with a couple of home runs, but more importantly, a patient at bat time after time.
Three and two. 2 out, nobody on, 6th inning, 2-1 Mariners.
He's irritating Cashner a little bit right now. When he puts his hand up to that right there to give himself some time. Before this at bat started, he did it, and Cashner started to go a little bit early.
Here's a high fly ball, right field. It's got some carry. Gone! A home run, Denard Span! On a 3-2 pitch to make it 3-1 Mariners. Span with his 7th home run, 36th RBI, and he irritated the daylights out of Cashner on that AB.
It started before the first pitch, and it was throughout the at-bat, really slowing things down, and it's a veteran move. And then the towering home run. That was really good. I was looking at Cashner. Here's the pitch, right down the middle. I was looking at Cashner, and he stood up behind the mound, and he really waited a long time to get back up on the mound again. You could tell it was bothering him. Span ends up winning that battle.
It's psychological warfare. Chopper. And Herman hustling up the line, but he's turned away. A 3-1 put out. Highlight of the inning, a Denard Span home run. Mariners 3-1 lead. Continue our annual Ultimate Fan Contest this season. We'd like to extend an invitation to all Northwest sports fans to join us July 7th at Safeco Field. Receive a view-level ticket and your choice of an Ultimate Northwest t-shirt for just $19 or a main-level seat and a t-shirt for $37 when you purchase through this special offer. For details, visit mariners.com/ultimate. Felix Hernandez got a 3-1 lead now. Denard Span with the home run. And Dave Valley joins us. Talk a little bit about Felix Hernandez and what he has done to this point in this ballgame. As this one shot through the right side by Manny Machado. Second hit for Manny. And Val, what do you think so far? Felix through 5.
Yeah. Hey Val, I'm just curious, because of the way things have gone this season. We mentioned the first 4 games and then the last 4, and how really good he has been, especially with runners in scoring position when he gets in trouble. That is something that we have seen throughout his career. What does confidence play in that for him? I think he also, when you talk about Felix, I think he has a pretty good feel for him on a given night and where he's at and where it's working for him. I was talking about it earlier, Val, and I don't know if you saw the game in New York, but he threw his changeup almost 45% of the time. He had a terrific changeup, and today it seems that he's working the curveball even more because he has a pretty good curveball working for him tonight. Last thing for me, Val, Dave and I were talking about it earlier, but with Felix and his fastball, 89 to 91 now. But you can see some late swings on it, and it's because he's mixing it up so much. Can you talk to the viewers and tell them how that plays?
Val, thanks so much for your time. Felix just hit Chris Davis to load him up for Trey Mancini. You can catch Val with Angie Mentink on Mariners postgame presented by Alaska Airlines at the end of this ballgame. Real crisis right now for Felix. Bases loaded, nobody out in the 6th. 3-1 lead.
Primera Supermo curveball right off the toe, and he certainly did not want to do that. Davis has struggled this year, so he wanted to pitch to him in this situation, but he'll get first base.
Here's Mancini. Ground out to second and a strikeout.
Infielders are back.
Yep.
Trying to get the double play. Felix looking for an out.
Don't want this to be a door opener for Baltimore. First pitch. Smoked and foul. Going to be easy 2 runs.
He's on the changeup. Change up on the inside corner. It's not foul by much, but it is a foul ball, so strike one. James Pazzo starting to get loose in the pen. Felix now at 75 pitches.
Pazos allowed strike one to Mancini. Here in the sixth, Felix in some trouble. Ground ball, Segura smothers it. They get the out at second. Brilliant play, Gene Segura, welcome back. Run does score on the play, they get an out. First choice RBI for Mancini, scoring on a play Machado.
It's such an important play by Segura. One, to keep it on the infield so they only get one run, but then to complete the play and get the force out at second base. That's the first out of the inning, so that will keep the double play in order. That's the reason why it's such a big play. First keeping it on the infield and then being able to throw back across his body. At that point, D. Gordon knowing there's no chance for a double play. You're a first baseman. Get the force out.
Jonathan Scope homered on an 0-1 pitch leading off the fifth. Oh, right up the middle. It hit Felix. They'll be lucky to get one, and they do. A runner scores. And let's see how Felix is. Goodness gracious, that ball was stung.
He was upset with himself that he didn't catch it.
3-3 ball game.
And I think if it actually had gone by him, I think D. Gordon might have been in position to get the double play. There's nothing he can do about it. This is a line drive right back at him. Line drive right back at him, going towards the middle. Looked as if D had a break on it. Another great play by Segura.
1-6-3.
That is off his glove. Heads up play. Segura charging it, barehanded play.
It's big time. The runner at second, it's Mancini, 2 down. Strike one here to Tim Beckham. New ball game at 3-3. Foul. Felix trying to put an end to this. Stop by Herman. Three ball game. And you had mentioned it, Mike. 2-0. A little separation here from these guys. Don't let them start feeling good about themselves. Now you got a tie ball game.
Both bullpens are busy right now.
And Span coming on. Well done. Snow cone action there. Orioles get a couple runs tied up. Guillermo, Gordon, and Segura coming up when we come back.
this ball game up, and they might have taken the lead, but a nice play here. Backhand sliding catch by Denard Span. Got a great jump and holds on.
I like the way he turned his glove back over because he knew it wasn't deep into the pocket. It was towards the end of his glove, so he turns it over while he's in the slide. Well done. For Cashner, 6 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs. They were earned. 4 walks. That helped the Mariners out. 3 strikeouts, 100 pitches. Miguel Castro going to take over. 30 appearances, a 2.5 ERA. 46 2/3. He has 31 strikeouts, 25 walks. He can get wild. Opponents hitting just 212 against him. His average fastball 96 miles an hour. Slider changeup.
23-year-old from La Romana in the Dominican Republic. Many a player coming out of there. Fernando Rande, one of them, comes to mind. 6'7", 205 as he faces off against Guillermo Heredia. Guillermo walking a comebacker, 0 for 1. Mariners got 2 runs in the second inning. 2-run single by D. Gordon, then a home run from Span in the 6th. Home run by Scope in the 5th. RBIs by Mancini and Scope in the 6th. This tie ball game. 3-0.
It didn't have to be.
Guillermo trying to get something on here. 3-1 pitch. And he's aboard. Second time he's walked tonight. Here in the 7th. Mariners have a man aboard. And to say thanks to the men and women who make America the land of the free and home of the brave, the Mariners and EQC are offering 10% off select seats to members of the military all season long. For details, visit mariners.com/specials. Top of the order, D. Gordon. Beckham coming in at 3rd, shows bunt. It's a beauty. Set.
He beat it. Yep.
He can really bunt. Rod Carew somewhere. You got to be happy with that.
You bet. It was just perfect. Castro bare hand. And he beats it easily. Perfect bunt.
Manufacture runs when you have to. Make it happen. Here's Segura, number 3 hitter in the American League, just back. Infection on his right forearm. He shows bunt. It takes ball 1.
Beckham, the third baseman, playing in.
Oh, heck of a play by Joseph. Wow. Good count for Gene, 2-0.
Castro 8 pitches, just 2 strikes.
Two-0 pitch. Not close. Mitch Haniger on deck. Back with a strike. Good speed out there for the Mariners. Nobody out. Runners at 1st and 2nd. And Gene takes for ball 4. The bases are loaded.
And Dave, when you are playing a struggling ball club, typically you will see a lot of this. Not able to command the strike zone. We talked about it with Cashner, the starter, at the beginning of the game. He ended up walking 3 batters in the inning, which is when the Mariners scored their first 2 runs. And now Castro, that's been a problem for him this year. He has a terrific arm. Trying to get 95 to 97 in the strike zone is a challenge right now. A couple of walks in the inning. A bunt base hit by Gordon.
A couple of walks that aided the Mariner cause here. Nobody out.
Tanner Scott getting loose.
Bases are loaded. And Heredia, Gordon, and Segura all aboard, ready to run. Brings up Mitch Haniger, single to center, popped to short, and a ground out to third. Wow. And they kicked it away. That's going to pick up a run. Guillermo scores easily. Everybody else moves up. Mariners back in front, 4-3.
Good reaction by Heredia. The ball gets away from the catcher. Looks like it's going to be close to him, and then as he's getting out of the crouch, he ends up kicking it. And Heredia took off right away. Primera Supermo blocks it with his glove. It falls down right in front of him, and then he kicks it. That's why Heredia was able to score. Guillermo will take a look at his secondary lead.
Haniger, a couple of RBIs out there for him. 1-0 pitch. Good hack.
Fastball up out over the plate. Second in the American League in RBIs.
Third worst bullpen ERA in the American League at 4.31 for the Orioles. 1-1 here to Haniger. Wild pitch brings home a run. Mariners lead 4-3. Did he check? He did, says Eric Cooper. 2-2. Nobody out. 2-2 pitch. Fouled off.
We get a piece of a slider. Easy to stay on that pitch when he's throwing 95, 96, pretty much all over the place.
2-2 to Mitch. That'll pick up a run. That's deep center field. Jones got a good arm. D. Gordon's running. Throw to third. Segura, he's in safely. 5-3 Mariners. Nice job, Mitch Haniger. Picks up an RBI. His 59th on the sacrifice fly. 1 down.
Seems like a little thing, but it's also another good play by Gene Segura. The ball was hit tagging up and getting to third. Now just with 1 out. Pick up another run without a hit.
And I'll put Nelly on. And there'll be a pitching change. Step aside. Buck Showalter wanted no part of the newly minted American League Player of the Week with a young right-hander out there. Oh, just a little bit wild. A step aside. It's 5-3 Mariners.
a 5-3 lead. Make sure you join us tomorrow during the Mariners game for Twitter Tuesday. You're going to get 5 chances to win exciting prizes just by interacting with us on Twitter throughout the ball game. We're going to be posting questions. We want to hear from you, so be sure to watch and follow us on Twitter at rootsports_NW. Giveaway rules, visit us at rootsports.com. There's Gene Segura tagged up on the sac fly by Mitch Haniger. Nelson Cruz intentionally passed. There's 1 out. And the hitters, Kyle Seager, they bring in a left-hander, Tanner Scott.
Hard throwing left-hander, 17 appearances, 18 innings, 24 strikeouts, 8 walks again in 18 innings. Average fastball 97 miles an hour and a slider.
Back up this way. Hit the back wall right below us downstairs. Kyle tonight's flat out to center, walking grounded out to second. 1 out, runners at the corners. Kid reminds me of Matt Thornton a little bit.
Yeah, a couple of fastballs. That last one 98 miles an hour. So it's very little effort. I'm going to rush it up there.
Kyle behind 0-2. Swing and a miss.
Gets him on a slider.
2 outs. 2 on. That'll bring up Ryan Healy. Healy tonight, hard line out to first. Strikeout and a ground out. We saw a heavy dose of hard throwing left-hander yesterday, and here's another one. Chris Sale doing a number on the Mariners yesterday up in Boston. Take a pass at it, strike 1.
Start him with a slider.
Now Felix with the lead here in the 7th.
Ozzo's getting loose in the pen, so that's probably it for Felix.
It's out foul. So Haley trying to come up big here. 2 outs, a couple of men aboard. Mariners have added 2 runs on a sacrifice fly and a wild pitch here in the 7th. Ryan, the 7th man to the plate. Swing and a miss. Pretty good movement on that pitch by Tanner Scott. But the Mariners do put 2 on the board and lead at 5-3. It's 1, 2, 3 times the fun when you play Washington's lottery. This couple groove into the sounds of the Steve Miller Band last night when we arrived here in Baltimore. Glad you could join us. Camden Yards. And the Mariners have a 5-3 lead. Game 1 of a 4-game set. Felix Hernandez will leave with the lead and a chance to win his 7th ball game.
6 innings, just 4 hits, 3 runs they were earned, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts, 81 pitches for Felix.
Take a look at our Beacon Plumbing call to the pen. It's going to bring us James Pazos.
Hard throwing left-hander for the Mariners. 30 appearances on the year, ERA just over 2, 25 strikeouts, 3 walks in 26 innings. Opponents hitting .250. Average fastball 90 miles an hour with a slider.
He's going to face 8, 9, and 1 in the order. Tim Beckham, Caleb Joseph, and Colby Rasmus. Real nice job by the Mariners to build those 2 runs. They benefit from a wild pitch, but also moved, got a run in on a sac fly by Hannigan. Caleb Joseph 0 for 2, ground out to third, a fly to center. Down low, ball 1.
Danny Valencia on deck.
Ground ball, Seager cuts it off and throws out Joseph for the 2nd time tonight. There's 1 out. Rasmus, big pinch hit for it. Danny Valencia. Well-traveled infielder, outfielder with the Mariners last year. Danny with the Mariners last year. .256, 15 homers, 66 runs batted in. 17 homers, 51 runs batted in with Oakland in the 2016 season. 7th team in his 9 years in the big leagues. Danny, career .270 hitter. That's what he's done this season. Pazos 1-1.
Looks like Juan Nicasio getting loose in the Mariner pen.
Here's one recently returning from the DL. Some knee issues.
Some right-handed hitters, Jones, Machado, Trumbo due up after Valencia.
Ball 2 strikes. Healy smothers it, takes it to the bag for out number 2. He's got great step and dive range. He did play a lot of third too in his career. Stick around after the game for Mariners postgame presented by Alaska Airlines. Bernard Span said a good night. Single and run scored and a home run. There's 2 outs.
With a couple of outs, he's going to stay with Pazos. Adam Jones 0 for 3.
2 ground outs and fly out. Again, part of the big story here in Baltimore. Jones, 3 others, Machado, a couple other guys
free agents. Last year, the contract for the skipper. Hazo's coming on. He makes the play. Well done. Good break. Like, he called Herm off, too. Thank goodness there was no collision. Orioles go in order in the 7th. Rick Riz listening to the Steve Miller Band. Excuse me, sir, can I see your ticket?
Well, the concert's across the water. He's fine.
Big Steve Miller fan. Scared him to death at the Townsend in Detroit a couple of years ago. Waiting for some friends of mine in the lobby, and here comes Steve Miller. I said, "Yo, Steve Miller!" And he was like, didn't expect anybody to recognize him.
Span with a home run his last time up. His 3rd home run with the Mariners.
Just joining us, he won a psychological battle with the starter, Andrew Kashner. In that plate appearance, it was a 3-2 pitch, a couple step outs as he's one to do, way out front. Ball and 2 strikes. Span, Herman, and Heredia here in the 8th inning. Mariners with 2 runs in the 2nd, 1 in the 6th, 2 in the 7th. 1-2 to Span. Look what I found, Chris Davis. 1 out. Let's check in with Angie Menten. All right, Angie, thank you. Here's Chris Herman, 0 for 2 with a walk. Scored back in the 2nd. The fly ball left field took Mancini to the track and left and grounded out the 1st.
Alex Colomé getting loose in the pen. First time seeing Tanner Scott. Good arm, 97, 98, but pretty good command of that slider too, which is at 90 miles an hour.
It's getting on you. There's a 1-1.
Another slider, 91 miles an hour.
Ball and 2 strikes. Shift is on against Herman, and he checked his swing, go down to third. Green Placer said he didn't go. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Good take. Herman last year with Arizona in 106 games, 10 homers, 27 runs batted in. He hit 181. Slugged 345 with a 619 OPS. And he's aboard. Bill walks for the 2nd time. On out base runner for the Mariners. First walk issued by Tanner Scott. And bring up Guillermo Heredia. He's twice walked, scored a run. Officially 0 for 1. Slapped the other way. Herman can run. He's got to get to third easily. Guillermo digging for 2 now. He'll slap it. Slam on the brakes. Wow. Good thing he kept his head up. First and third as Danny Valencia got it back in quickly. Good to see Guillermo with another base knock. And here come the Mariners. Runners at the corners, 1 out.
For Heredia, will be a fastball, inside out swing, slicing line drive into the corner. And you're right, he makes the right decision. Valencia able to get to it.
So another RBI opportunity for D. Gordon, who's drove in the first 2 runs. Bases loaded, 3-2 pitch, 2 outs in the 2nd inning. Drawn in infield. Strike 1 to D. Beautiful bunt up the first base line his last time up in the 7th. Came around to score in the sacrifice fly.
You mentioned it, that Herman can run, so that option is open for D if he wants to drop one down.
Beckham creeping in at third.
A couple of sliders.
He's got the good fastball, but it seems like he's throwing more of those.
Showing the fastball going to work with the slider.
Yep. 0-2 to D. Outfielder's not deep for D. Here's the 0-2. The bat continues. He just got a piece of it. Caleb Joseph.
Buck Showalter not sure.
Stu Sherwater is the home plate umpire.
I don't want to talk about it. He called it a foul ball right away.
Sure did.
I'm not too sure though by the way D was reacting.
Crew chief is Gary Cedarstrom.
Primera Supremo, another slider. It's close.
Yep.
And now, here comes Scott.
Sherwater, 35 years old, out of China, Canada.
Gary Cedarstrom.
asked him to review it, and he said, how can you ask him, Gary, how can you see it from out there? Coming out to get Scott, bench coach. He's a strikeout victim.
On the pitching change.
Ball's going to hit the back of the plate. Take a look right here. B's bat. Didn't get it. Certainly didn't look like it there. But that's up for debate anyway. Well, it's not up for debate. It's a strikeout. It's 5-3 Mariners. Here in the 8th inning, first of 4 here at Charm City. Make your voice heard. Nominate your favorite plays of the week by tweeting us using the hashtag RootFanFave. Watch the Mariners pregame show every Sunday to find out your fan favorite plays of the week. Plus, each month, one lucky fan's going to win a Coors Light Yeti cooler just for participating. For official rules, visit rootsports.com. Good contingent of Mariner fans on hand. New pitchers, Brad Brock. He'll face Gene Segura, runners at the corners. And a first pitch strike. 2 outs here in the 8th.
Brad Brock, average fastball, 93 miles an hour. Slider, changeup.
Segura, career 1 for 4 against Brad. Gene tonight, first game since last Wednesday, 1 for 4 against the Yankees.
3.9 ERA for him, 33 strikeouts, 17 walks in 30 innings. Another pitcher that has had a tough time with the strike zone. Well, it's averaged 288.
Big number. 0 for 2, 2 walks for Gene. Brad Brock 18 saves last season, a 4-5 year. 2-1. They get 3-1.
Another hitter's count.
Got Mitch Haniger on deck. Mariners 2 in the 2nd, 1 in the 6th, 2 in the 7th. The O's got a run in the 5th, 2 in the 6th. Foul back.
What happened? They're upset because a fan hit up top and it came down the lower part of the stadium. A fan was on his phone, and right when he turned around, he just put his hand up and caught it.
3-2 to Gene. 2 out. Runners at the corners. Heredia runs. Pitch. Bouncing ball up the middle. And scope. Comes up big. Nice play to retire the Mariners, who have a 5-3 lead as we go to the bottom of the 8th. 4 as we go bottom 8, 5-3 lead. Let's tell you about the rest of what's coming up pitching wise. James Paxton against Kevin Gausman tomorrow on air at 3:30. Same 3:30 start time Wednesday. Wade LeBlanc looking for his 4th win, goes against Alex Cobb. And Mike Leake coming off a brilliant performance, 8 innings, shutout ball up in Boston, goes against Dylan Bundy. To wrap it up, we got an 11:30 a.m. on air. It'll be a 3 o'clock start East Coast time. Coming up here in the bottom of the 8th inning, it'll be 3, 4, 5 in the order. Manny Machado, Mark Trumbo, and Chris Davis, and they'll be going against Alex Colomé.
33 appearances, 4.45 ERA, 30 strikeouts, and 30 in the 3rd. Opponent's hitting .248. Mid to upper 90s fastball and a slider.
11th game as a Mariner for Colomé. 5.19 ERA in 8 2/3 innings.
He will get the middle of the lineup. Manny Machado leading things off. Trumbo and Davis after that.
Machado 6 for 17 against Colomé. Here's the first pitch. Strike 1.
Good fastball at 97.
Feeling good. Fouled back by Manny. Manny's had a good night with a base hit to left field, walk, a base hit to right, and a run scored. Last saw Colomé Wednesday in New York. 3rd blown save, went an inning and a 3rd. Hit 2 runs, both earned. Giving up a 2-run homer in the 8th inning on Wednesday to Gary Sanchez. Tied the score at 5-5. There's 1-2 here to Manny. Just outside.
Back-to-back sliders. After a couple of fastballs, 96, 97.
Two and 2 to Manny. Foul off. Where is Manny gonna go by the trade deadline? What's your guess?
No idea.
Rumors
it changes
abound.
every day.
Yes, it does. Latest team I've been reading and hearing about, keep hearing about the Phillies. Colomé knocks it down. 1 out. Phillies also supposedly out on the trail for Adrian Beltre. Alex okay. 1 out here in the 8th. We'll bring up Mark Trumbo, who struck out, single to center, walked and scored. Trumbo dominated by Colomé. 1 for 12, Mark, against Alex, with the 1 hit being a home run. Straight up in the infield, straight up in the outfield and deep for Trumbo.
Good slider now. That slider at 92 miles an hour. Fastball at the top of the zone at 97.
Down low. Trumbo in his 3rd year with Baltimore. He's with the Mariners in the 2015 season. Played 96 games.
13 homers, 41 runs batted in, and hit .263. Started out with the Angels in Arizona. Jerry DiPoto's moved them a couple of times. Two and one. May ready. Here comes a 2-1 to Trumbo. He's gone 3-1 here. Chris Davis is on deck. Back with a strike. Full count. Be careful with Trumbo's been on a recent home run tear, homering in 5 of his last 7 games. Three-two pitch.
Borderline fastball, 97 miles an hour off the plate.
Sure you get your tickets. Mariners will be coming home at the end of the week. Kansas City coming to town. 3 games with them. The Angels for the 3rd and final time, and then Colorado will visit this 9-game homestand. 3-2 pitch.
Good fastball. Chris Davis waiting on deck. Chris has really struggled this year, but late in the game trying to protect 2 runs and let Trumbo earn it.
Colomé, second man out of the pen. Pazos was the first. He did a nice job in the 7th. Felix Hernandez, 6 innings, good work. 3-2 pitch. Fly ball deep to right, down the line, foul ball. Pitch disappearing into the corner out there.
Pretty good battle. This will be the 9th pitch of this at bat.
Important out right here. You mentioned it. Davis scuffling big time. Don't want to mess around and make him the tying run at the plate. Swing and a miss. Gorgeous slider. 2 down.
Challenged him on 3 fastballs in a row. Trumbo was late, fouling him off. Decided to put him away with a pretty good slider. 91 miles an hour, Primera Supermo.
It brings up Chris Davis, who struck out twice, looking, swinging, and hit by a pitch. It was all against Felix. Davis 2 for 11 against Colomé. Seeing lots of Colomé when he was in the division with Tampa Bay. Here comes the 1-0. Well, you got Davis falling off the table this year with his numbers. Scope. You got Bryce Harper down in Washington from here. Amazing. Sometimes what a difference a season makes for some very productive players. Happens.
Yeah, it does. We were talking about it before the game, and it does happen. Difficult to see everybody struggling at the same time on this club. You mentioned Davis. Trumbo just now starting to get hot. Mancini, Scope. It's tough.
Colomé 2-1. 2 balls, 2 strikes. No action in the Mariner pen right now. 2-run lead. Just regain the lead in the 7th. Run on a wild pitch and a sac fly. 2-2. Davis gone. Herman throw down to Healy to complete it. And what a nightmare it continues for Chris Davis. Colomé goes 1-2-3 in the 8th. 5-3 Mariners. Booth, Dave Sims, Mike Flowers, and the Mariners looking good to pick up a couple of runs. Felix in line to get this win, and some couple of clutch moments here offensively.
Well, first of all, a quality start for Felix, which was big time, and now they turned it over to the bullpen. It'll be Diaz in the 9th inning for sure, but the Mariners taking advantage of some mistakes. A lot of walks by the Orioles so far, and they're able to cash those in for runs, which is what you want to see on a team that has been struggling.
Absolutely. See if they can continue to build here in the 9th inning. Mitch Haniger going to lead it off against the veteran reliever Darren O'Day, 35 years old, out of Jacksonville, Florida.
Side armor. Average fastball 87 miles an hour and a slider at 79.
Haniger tonight 1 for 3 with a sacrifice fly. Got the RBI. His 59th of the season.
And Diaz is getting loose in the pen. For O'Day, 18 appearances, a 2.7 ERA, 27 strikeouts, just 3 walks in 20 innings, having a good year. Opponent's hitting just .205.
0-2 to Mitch. Lead off it. And a reminder, get your votes in for Mitch Haniger to make the All-Star team July 17th. Just south of here in Washington, D.C. And there's base hit. Pitch running away from him, but he was able to get to it. The Mariners have a leadoff single here in the 9th. Here's Angie Mentink. All right, thank you, Angie. Nelson Cruz 3 for 5 against O'Day. Oh for 3 night with an intentional walk for the American League Player of the Week. Look at those numbers. Man in his comfort zone, Boston and here. Did some damage in New York. One of the real terrific moves made by the Mariners in the last few years to sign him after his 1 year here in Baltimore. Free agent, they were able to get him. 1-1 pitch here to Nelly. Haniger at first.
Able to lay off of the slider.
What's the key to hitting a guy like this? A slinger who's coming down under.
I think for me, I like that he has 2 pitches, and I would just eliminate one. Either look for the slider or the fastball. Nelson swinging through the fastball on the first pitch. You just don't see it very often, and I think you can help yourself by just eliminating something.
2-1.
There's another slider.
Count even to Nelson Cruz. And at first, on deck hitter is Kyle Seager. Felix Hernandez in line to win his 7th ball game.
Kyle waiting on deck.
2-2 to Nelly. It's outside, ball 3.
This will be interesting. It's been 3 sliders
Right.
in a row. Is he going to challenge him 3-2?
You know the price you might pay. Three and 2 to Cruz with Haniger at first. Mitch runs a pitch, swing on, fouled off.
There's a fastball, tied him up a little bit. Right at the top of the strike zone at 87 miles an hour.
Hit the launch mode button here. 3 and 2. Haniger takes off. Pitch fouled off again.
Haniger getting a workout at this point. I think he's loose.
Interval training never hurt anybody. Curtis Granderson, a solo home run, top 5. Blue Jays tie up the Astros at 3-3. Three-two pitch one more time to Nelson Cruz. Haniger, he goes, a pitch popped up. Playable. Davis is there for the out. Well, we got interference or something?
Maybe that's the only thing I can think of, that there was some interference. Nelson was pointing back at the catcher.
Showalter bolts out. Whoa, look at O'Day.
Wow.
He's incensed. Somebody come get O'Day. He got run, looks like.
Unless maybe they called a balk on the play. Because Nelson, if he hit, it was catcher's interference, he wouldn't have to go back and get his bat. But
right.
The runner Haniger gets second base, so they must have called a balk. And that's why O'Day was so upset. Now Showalter, he will go also.
I betcha.
When Nelson was coming back, I don't think he was pointing at the catcher, he was pointing at the umpire because he obviously had heard it.
I didn't hear anything.
I didn't hear anything or see it.
Yeah, and my reaction, I'm writing down a 3.
But take it.
Right, absolutely, you take it. There we go.
Still didn't hear anything, did you?
No. His run. Wow. Ed Quitler, listen in here.
Watch his wind up.
And somebody heard balk. Did you hear that?
That time I heard the balk,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I didn't see what he had done.
He never came to a full stop. It looked like when he's holding the glove up there, it looked like it just kept descending. I think that's the call. I mean,
Yeah, that has to be the call. Mariners will certainly take it. Buck is still upset by it.
yeah. Almost looked like he was on the phone to Joe Torre. He was on the phone so long.
Well, reliever on his way in, and he'll get as much time. Nobody was getting loose out there, and Day ejected immediately. Strange.
Step aside, come back while the reliever gets his chance to get warm. 5-3 Mariners. New pitcher, and that's going to be Zach Britton. And coming up, here's a look at the rest of the series. Paxton against Gosman, LeBlanc against Cobb, Leak against Dylan Bundy. Then the Mariners come home and take on Kansas City, the Angels, and the Rockies. For Zach Britton, he's going to take over.
Just 6 appearances on the year. 6.35 ERA, 6 strikeouts, 5 walks, and 5 2/3. And some command issues. His average fastball 94 miles an hour. An occasional slider. He basically is just going to go right after the hitters.
Just coming back. I can relate to this. He's coming back after right Achilles surgery. I thought Buck was tossed.
I thought he was.
He didn't go Bobby Valentine or Ichiro with a mustache either.
There's a lot going on, I can tell you that. And I'm not sure why Buck is able to. Didn't we see him throw him?
Yes.
Yes.
Plain as day.
Yeah.
Stu Sherwater, the home plate umpire.
Maybe he's going to make him run him again.
Want to win tickets to James Paxton Bobblehead Day? Text Paxton to 71532. And you could win 2 tickets in the commissioner's box, plus your very own James Paxton bobblehead.
Zach Britton just came back to the ball club 13 days ago. Been out with after right Achilles surgery. He had 5 rehab appearances with 3 different minor league affiliates. So he's coming in. A 3-2 count to Cruz. Haniger with the balk moves up to second.
With the balk, it basically amounts for Nelson. It amounts to a free swing, and ended up popping the ball up. It was caught, but because the balk was called, he has the opportunity to go back and hit again.
Somebody at home is wondering what our producer and the fellas in the truck were asking. What if Nelly had gone large and hit it out of the ballpark?
It's a free swing, and players have talked about it. If you hear the balk, go ahead and swing at anything, anywhere, because you never know, because you're going to get to go back and hit anyway. But that's like next to impossible to do. But Nelson, you can see Nelson about halfway down the line. He wanted to pick up his bat again.
Right. Looking forward to it. Absolutely.
Left-hander is ready to go.
Adam Jones coming back from hanging out in the bullpen out in center field. That's what the holdup is. It counts 3-2. Haniger, he's at second with nobody out. Mariners up by 2. Britton. Well, he's 2 for 6 against him. Here we go. 3-2 pitch. And he's aboard via the walk.
And yes, Showalter is no longer in the dugout. He went back up to the clubhouse.
Wow.
Chris Prieto. A good laugh with Nelson over at first.
Kyle Seager. That walk goes to O'Day. Seager with a walk. He's 0 for 3. Seager 3 for 10. Home run with a home run against Britton. Couple of men aboard and nobody out for the Mariners, who lead by 2. Good count for Seager. Haniger at second, Cruz at first. 2-0 to Kyle. He hit it right to the glove of Scope. Nice play there. Kyle hustling beats it out. They get the middle runner. Nice play by Scope. That looked like it had a real good chance to get through. Good play. Kyle reaches on fielder's choice. To third goes Haniger.
Just a good diving play. Strong throw from Machado, but Kyle was hustling, able to beat it out.
Here's Ryan Healy. Oh for 1. And again, Zach Britton. Ball 1. Ryan tonight 0 for 4. 2 strikeouts, a hard line out to first and a ground out to third. And the 1-0. Bounced up there. Runners hold. It's blocked by Joseph. 2-0.
I'm not sure how he was able to do that. And
he took a hurt there too.
I might have hit him in the collarbone or even in the throat. Was so far out in front of home plate. He was just basically standing up.
Jeez, that's. Ooh, in the neck.
Yeah.
That's the worst. Oh my goodness.
He's going to definitely need a little bit of time.
Occupational hazard.
has that extension on the bottom of his mask, but it just misses it.
Oh, it was the collarbone. Okay,
And I think most of the time he would put his head down to block it, but because it was so far out in front of home plate, he was just standing up, trying to keep it in front of him.
You have more collarbone, and then the shock of it goes into your throat. That's not good. Any way you look at it. Good count here. Healy 2-0. Hunters at the corners. 1 out. Top of the ninth. Mariners by 2. Three and 0. Oriole pitching. Walked 9 batters. 1 intentional. Three and 1. Big pitch here, 3 and 1 to Ryan Healy. And he takes full count. Healy looking for his 7th hit on this road trip. 3-2 pitch. And he takes for ball 4. The Mariners have the bases loaded again. And Denard Span coming to the plate. 2 for 4. Single, run scored in the 2nd, and he homered in the 6th. Extended the Mariner lead to 3-1.
John Russell is now managing the club for Baltimore, bench coach.
Span 2 for 5 against Britain. Makes the first pitch strike. Didn't like that call. 0-2.
That inning's been so long. Diaz just playing catch now out in the bullpen. He's more than ready to go.
0-2 hole here. Bases loaded. 1 out. Comebacker. A 1-2-3 double play. Edwin Diaz time. 9th inning. Mariners by 2. Trying to win this opener of this series in Baltimore.
pleasant night last evening as we got here in Baltimore. Peter Frampton playing with the Steve Miller Band on this particular number, just outside our hotel. Local observer taking it in. Frampton sounded like he was in pretty good voice. Edwin Diaz time, everybody, here in the ninth. Mariners up by 2. He'll face Mancini, Scope, and Beckham, 6, 7, and 8 in the Baltimore order.
39 appearances, 27 saves, a 2.77 ERA for him, 64 strikeouts, over 13 walks, Mancini just 170. You see most Ks by a reliever in the American League, Edwin Diaz.
The other night, Saturday, in the Mike Leake game, Mariners had the big lead. He came in throwing fastballs, throwing strikes, and of course, Red Sox got after him. He gave up a couple of runs, but he finished the job. First pitch strike, struck out 2 in the process in that game in Boston as well. And Mancini for 1 against Edwin. Shot foul and 2. Quick 0-2 hole.
And starts him with a couple of sliders at 90 miles an hour. His fastball will be from 95 to 100.
Diaz in charge, 0-2. Up and in.
Wake you up.
Diaz leading the civilized world with 27 saves, 5 ahead of Kimbrel and Chapman. Swing and a miss. Didn't have a chance. 1 down. That's 3 consecutive strikeouts of Orioles hitters by Mariner pitching.
And just really good pitching. We talk about Diaz and his fastball all the time, but 2 sliders to get ahead, straighten him up with a fastball, and put him away with another slider. Camaro Supermo, well executed slider, probably just off the plate.
Here's Jonathan Scope. 1 for 4 against Edwin. Scope's had a good night, driven in 2 runs. 1 for 3, had a home run leading off the 5th. RBI ground out in the 6th. Diaz is flat and nasty.
He has a really good slider and he's locating it. Something we talked about this year with him and his slider. I think I'm not necessarily thinking that it's an improved slider, but his location of it has been better. Down and away out of the strike zone.
Comeback on a broken bat. D throws across his body. Nice stretch by Healy. 2 down.
And then after all the sliders, a fastball at 97 in on his hands. Right on the pine tar. Look at the English on it. Is curving back towards D. Gordon.
Wow. It's a murderous pitch coming in on you like that.
Especially again with the slider. As a hitter, you have to look for something, and he gets you on a couple of sliders. You're thinking he's going back there, and he runs that fastball in on your hands. No chance.
Good luck. 2 outs, Tim Beckham. Foul back. Edwin Diaz in lockdown duty. 2 outs, nobody on. Mariners by 2, 0-1 pitch. Inside.
And straighten him up with 99 miles an hour.
Edwin pitched on Saturday. It was the first time in a week Mariners just couldn't get to him. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Took something off and got a strike. 1-2.
Mariners have lost 4 of their last 5 here in Baltimore, but they're getting ready to put a dent in that streak. See what Diaz finishes them off with. 1-2. Straight gas homie. Game over. Edwin Diaz bringing some high, hard heat. 5-3 Mariners as they win game 2 on this road trip. They go 2-5. And what a start to this set here in Baltimore.
They had to do just enough to beat Baltimore, a club that is struggling, beating them 5-3. Again, the Orioles helping them out, but when you're struggling, you have to take advantage of that. Able to do it. Denard Span, another home run, his 3rd with the Mariners.
Some really good work here by the Mariners to win this game in Baltimore. For Mike Blowers, I'm Dave Sims. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Mariner programming continues. Mariners postgame presented by Alaska Airlines starts right now with Angie and Dave.